Welcome to this podcast, Dynamic Parent and Teacher Training with educational psychologist Alec Delancey. This podcast is dedicated to promoting positive performance in children through simple behavior modification. Okay, so today we want to talk about parents are part of the child's life too. That is very, very important to note. Parents, you are part of the child's life too. And the teachers, it is important that you recognize that as well. Now, why do we say that parents sometimes feel isolated? Well, a parent may be called into school only when the child violates a particular school policy. So the child may have stole some money from the teacher or probably stole some money from another student, and the parent is called into school. Maybe the child was involved in a fight or damaged some furniture, and it is the first time that the parent will be summoned to come to school in order to address this matter. So parents feel isolated in that it is only when the child does something negative they are contacted by the school principal or by the dean or by the form teacher, as the case may be. Another reason why parents may feel isolated is that at parent-teacher meetings, the teacher basically is the one who sets the agenda. The parent sometimes feels as though they are just simply there in a classroom, come to listen and to take in instruction. Parents are seldom given the opportunity to contribute to the agenda, and therefore they feel sort of marginalized. They do feel isolated, because here it is, they have ideas to contribute, but they are not called upon to let the teacher know exactly what they will want to discuss at some of these parent-teachers meetings, and therefore they simply sit there and just absorb or taking the information. As a matter of fact, there are some parents who, in a bid to hold back or to have some kind of power and control over this whole situation, may simply come late or not come at all, without even giving advance warning that they will not be there at these parent-teachers meeting, because they feel that, who is Miss? Who is Sir? Who is this principal? They didn't ask me what I think or what I would like to discuss, but here it is, they simply call me to a meeting. Another reason why parents may feel marginalized or isolated in their child's education when it comes to the child's relation to the school, the teacher and the principal is that the parent is not asked or given the opportunity to state what they expect from the teacher, from the school. You see, teachers, they will indicate to the student, this is what I expect of you. I expect at the end of the term or at midterm, you are expected to know such and such or be able to complete this lesson or that lesson. But when it comes to the parents are hardly asked by a teacher or by a school administrator what they expect from the school or what they expect from the teacher. So a parent simply sends their child off to school, and in many cases they are simply called for a parent-teacher meeting or when the child involved in some kind of violation. Now, the parent is also involved, and this is what is critical. Parents are also involved in shaping the minds of their children. And as teachers, it is very important that you recognize this. Because of social learning, children are also picking up or absorbing information from their parents. Now, this is all part of the culture. Parents, they teach their children religion, they teach their children the language, they teach their children how to think or how to reason on specific matters. They teach their children what kind of worldview to have, philosophical way of thinking. Parents are involved. So it's really important that as teachers, we include the parents into the child's life, into the child's school life, so that that parent doesn't feel that they are not a part or they are isolated or that they have nothing to contribute to us, so that we can make their own child's life at school more meaningful. Think about this. As a child growing up, imagine if the teacher and the parent, they are very close in passing information or in interacting with each other as it relates to the child. If that child comes home one day and says to that parent, what, mommy, or to daddy, you know what, I don't think Miss likes me, Look at what they did. They asked me a question in front of the entire class. if that parent and that teacher has a good relationship, then the last thing on that parent's mind will be to side with that child and say, you know what, I think it's true, miss don't like you, or sir doesn't like you. But the parent will actually say to that child, you know what, I know miss, we had a conversation just yesterday, a matter of fact, and miss was saying that she thinks that you're a bright little boy, and she wants you to excel, but she finds that you're a little quiet in class. So I suspect that is why miss called you today to answer the question. So that parent now is able to adjust that child's thinking. Now, I want to talk about what teachers can do in order to bring the parent into the support circle that child has available. Now, one of the things that as a teacher you can do, you can inform the parents when the child does something great. So it's not only when the child does something that is in need of discipline or suspension that you as the teacher or the school administration will contact that parent. So you want to make sure that if the child does something good, for example, the child completes an assignment, in-class assignment on time, you want to call that parent, maybe a phone call, or maybe send a letter home. It's a brief letter indicating, hey, you know what, little Johnny or little Sammy or little Sally did really great today. For the past 3 days, you know what, I found that they weren't completing their work, but today they did it, and they did it in a record time. Now that parent will feel also happy to know that their child was able to complete the task, but also that you is showing an interest in them and is willing to pass information to them, give them feedback. Another area where teachers can include parents in the support circle has to do with using technology to have constant feedback or constant communication with them. For example, we have the Skype, or we have other apps that as the school administration could actually use to contact parents and keep them in the loop, keep them informed as to what is going on with their child. Now, parents are busy too, but they want feedback. They want to know what's going on with their child, with their children. And teachers, it is very important that you recognize that this teaching job goes beyond just when the school bell rings for end of school for the children. So it means therefore that there are occasions when you as a teacher will have to go above and beyond in contacting this parent. Maybe it's after working hours where the parent may be more relaxed, they're home. Remember, a number of these parents, they might be working 2 jobs or 3 jobs, or even if they are working just 1 job, it can be a very stressful job, and therefore when called into school, they may not be able to get the time off all the time to come to a meeting or come to a parent-teacher conference or to attend to another matter that the school may have at the spur of the moment, especially if it was an unplanned meeting. So feel free to use the technology and keep parents informed, keep them in the loop. Another technique that you as a teacher or the school administration can use in order to help parents to be a part of the child support group is to invite the parent into the school. Maybe it can be just an hour or so, and have the parent either sit in the class, maybe to the back, and have that teacher teach a lesson so that the parent knows the kind of quality or the kind of experience that is being given to their child. The parent is now able to see the teacher in their natural environment, teaching a lesson plan, and therefore is able to recognize that their child is getting quality education. In cases where it may not be practical to invite the parent into the classroom for about an hour or so to see what is actually going on or to see the lesson and how it is being taught, it might be a good idea to videotape a portion of the school day, a portion of the class, a portion of the teacher teaching a lesson, and probably upload it on a specific school site or send the link to the parent so that that parent has access to looking at what is going on in the classroom and seeing the kind of quality education that their children or child are being exposed to. So there are so many opportunities that we can provide for parents to be a part of the child's life and to really see that they too are able to contribute so much, and we are working hand in hand, parent and teacher, to make the child experience one that is a meaningful one. So parents, you are part of the child's life too, and teachers, you want to make those parents recognize and feel a part of their own child's life as it pertains to the child education. Thank you very much. I hope that this content, it was meaningful and you learned quite a bit from it. So all the best and take care. Music in this podcast, Zigzag and Exit the Premises, was brought to you by Kevin MacLeod of incompetech.com.